I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
And this is Dark Medieval Times by the band Satyricon.
For the big homie Daniel.
Yeah, who is a staple in La Village, or El Village, I'm not sure. For timely topical political commentary, you can hit us up at Middle America with Vin and Sori. There are multiple ways to get your song reviewed. Dear listener, my favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon where you will get to pool your points with your alliance, and then you get to help decide what songs we review. We've done that recently. The last couple songs have been Patreon picks. But now, if you're a filthy individualist capitalist like my friend Sori over here...
I'm actually his wife.
We're not friends anymore?
Well, you say friend, and everybody wants to know if Sori's married.
Oh. She's married. Then there's a $125 option where you get to hop, skip, and jump in front of everybody and make your selection yourself, which is what happened with our good friend D. Do we get to say his name?
Daniel, yeah.
Daniel. You do that 3 times, you get bumped down at a $75 rate. You can do that via Patreon, or you can do that via vinandSorimerch@gmail.com at PayPal.
Links are in the description.
Links are in the description. If you've been on the $125 tier for 3 months straight...
No, it doesn't have to be straight.
Or 3 months in total on Patreon, make sure you reduce it to $75 because you get the same benefits because you've done it 3 times.
If you're confused on how to do that, just send me a message and I'll help you out.
Yep, and if you're at like month 4 or 5, never you worry, we'll be able to fix that too. Okay, Dark Medieval Times, Satyricon. I'm actually very interested to hear the song. Let's go.
Here we go.
Black metal, ladies and gentlemen. Sounds very medieval right now. These guys aren't your average true cult black metal band. So I had to look something up because I was like, we did this band before, and it was the Mother North one. It was the big, it was the big one they did with the opera, and I'm like, whoa, they really evolved as a band because here they're starting out as like basically true cult
I see
black
what you're
metal,
saying. Yeah.
low production,
Yeah.
you know, that type of thing. But then the the Mother North song, especially like when you look at like the opera side of it, like they really stepped it up. Like, look at this. Like, compare.
Oh, I know.
You know, it's still black metal, but I mean, it's with the opera and all that. I mean, it's crazy. They definitely evolved as a band. But at the same time, like, you could tell, you know, like I whispered to you, like, this is not your typical, like, black metal, true cult black. Well, there's black metal, there's symphonic black metal, blah, blah, blah. But, like, they started off sounding like true cult black metal to me. At the, you know, the production value was low, and I kind of had to show you where we were lyrically. But, like, they were, but you could still kind of tell when they started the little medieval, the folksy thing, like the instrumentals, and it was clear and all that. Like, you could tell that they wanted to be more than just that.
I mean, I agree with that. For me, I didn't like the two sounds combining. I felt like somebody was feeding me broccoli and then giving me lollipops and then broccoli again. So I
just think it's them like trying to like be
figure themselves out, maybe.
Yeah, like be true cult, because that's probably like when they fell in love with metal. But at the same time, the guy's a musician and he's got larger sights to, you know, that he wants to conquer musically. And so, like, yeah, you have both of those. Obviously, I think when they went to the Mother North thing, I thought that they figured it out.
Oh, yeah.
They figured
Absolutely.
it out.
Absolutely.
I remember you gave that thing an unjust score.
The Mother North?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. I probably didn't.
You gave it an unjust score.
What did I give it?
On top of that, like, we killed the Native Americans.
Oh, that's why I had my Borknagar chain?
That's what they do.
So might be what it was.
Like, I'm a fan of that. Like,
You gave it some horrible score.
Yeah, I'm making a
I
face.
like that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, cool. You got them all in there.
Sometimes like black metal performers.
What did I give it?
I forgot.
Good lord. I love me some North Metal. I love them. They're great.
What did you give it?
Pinnacle creation. All right.
So what do you give it?
That was a 10 for me.
Oh.
I'm a sucker for a good live show. If you can pull off a fucking good live show.
Okay. So I gave it a 10.
And then this
Yes.
Satyricon. If you
But I
can
made
pull off a
eyes when you
live
said
show,
10, so.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Fine.
I gave it a 5!
It wasn't.
So
It was a 3!
So-
Play it! I think I said it was a 3.
Till you started talking about it.
I was so mad at you for that.
Oh, that's so
And
funny.
here we are in the comment section. Everybody just lets you get away with murder.
That is
as
so
usual.
funny.
I'm gonna post the link up there so you can watch the. So now I guess this is. So you're gonna say that this song was better than Mother North
No, it's
because
just
you're gonna
I think that
gonna give it less than a 5.
no, I'm giving it less than a 3. No, I'm just kidding. I think that I have matured in my palate for things, but I mean, even still, well, I guess it's premature to say my rating.
I don't know how the hell you gave it a 5. Let's just go on to the lyrics. The secret lights in the sky, vision.
I have
in
no
one
clue what
scene,
this
the
song is
blades are
about.
sharper, they will lure you to destroy you. I think it's like.
If somebody said, "I'm gonna kill you if you don't tell me what this song is about,"
Well, it says dark medieval times. I just think, you know what I think? It says secret lights in the sky. I just think like a spaceship comes, gets you, and then you get transported to the medieval times, and then you suffer painfully in the medieval period. Because the medieval times, like that's, you know.
yeah,
You know what's really interesting to me? I was reading, you know, when I was a kid, I was reading King Arthur and all that, and the chivalry and the honor and the knighthood and the
we
round
didn't
table.
realize what a scary time it was, though.
Well, so I was reading that as a fiction, but then I wanted to like, what's the actual historical medieval times? And I was like, holy shit, plague, holy shit, fiefdom, holy shit,
Yes.
torture, horrific torture. Holy shit, Catholic Church ruling the Western world.
And it was
drowning in piles of blood. Iron Maiden, holy hell. Just horrible tortures that
why were they doing that?
people were, inventors of evil, Romans 1 says. I mean, it was horror after horror after horror. So it's a very strange situation because, like, we went to medieval times when we were in Cali, when we went to the NAMM festival or whatever that thing is. And, it's all this chivalry.
No, it wasn't all that. We could have done the torture chamber before we came in.
Huh?
You can go view all the torture things before you go in.
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah.
We didn't go there, though.
No.
We didn't go there. Yeah. The medieval times were really, it's the torture thing. You're right about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah. It's weird to me that, like, those are generally public events a lot of the times.
At least it's weird that they brought kids. Like, the kids and everything would go to those things.
Are you talking about modern medieval times or actual medieval times, or both?
Well, I'm assuming that what I know of the medieval times is what actually happened. You see hangings and you see kids standing in the crowd.
Yeah. But it's weird to me that, like, in the modern day, like, you can go to medieval times and see all the torture things or whatever, and that you bring your kids there. Oh, these are how people got tortured,
Oh yeah, and I'm pretty sure that those were, like, actually used. Like.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
As in, this tool literally back then was used to torture someone.
Yeah.
Not that it was a remake of that thing.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Whoa, you're saying this is an actual artifact.
I'm pretty sure that when I went as a kid, it said this is an actual. And then you could push the button and hear the people screaming. I thought, this is all. I don't understand why we're in here. Because I felt like as Christians, we shouldn't have been in there.
But human nature is inherently good.
Yep.
It's just so weird to me, bro. But, like, it really makes you wonder, right? You look at, like...
waiting for a lot of endless screaming. You
look at, Roman culture and the Colosseums, and then medieval culture. You got that. I've got those pictures of, like, these lynchings in the antebellum period, and people were having picnics and shit and fucking.
I know.
There's a guy lynched, his body's burned beyond human recognition.
There was a postcard they were circulating.
Yeah, like, it's like, yo, like. And this is like, where Farrakhan will, do a message and he'll show that, look at these white people sitting there, and you're like, holy shit, the white man's a devil. Like, holy hell. But unless you know history, and then historically speaking, this is just human nature, period. It's not exclusive to white people, But you know what they're going to say to me? They're going to say, what were the examples you just gave? I said, well, Rome, the medieval people. They're like, those are all Europeans. I don't care. It's human nature. You cannot tell me. Well, what about scaphism? Scaphism was, I think that's how you pronounce it.
That word sounds really gross. Can you just tell me what it means?
I'm pretty sure it's Persian. Artaxerxes. It's a Medo-Persian torture, which basically. They basically wrap you in honey. They basically wrap you in honey, and then they put you into a swamp, and then the bugs or whatever.
You're like you're half covered in like a boat type thing or something like that.
Yeah. And
they come and they just embed in you.
And then they force feed you honey, which makes you whatever. And you just get consumed alive for days and days on end, and then nobody can mercy kill you, and it's just a freaking horrific way to die. I mean, that was Medo-Persians. Those people were darker than me, Brother Minister Farrakhan. So you're gonna say it's all white? You're gonna say that's white people? Like, it's just human beings.
I don't know.
Remember
when we watched that Viking show, what they did to that person?
Yep, the
with
eagle
their lungs
thing
on the outside.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but that was pretty horrific.
No, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's true. The blood eagle thing or whatever.
God, why don't you just die if you're that open? Wouldn't you just bleed to death?
Yeah, I think you bleed out pretty quickly, but I mean it's
well, in that show they didn't bleed out quickly.
Well, I mean it's a show. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like you see these things, like this guy gets hit and he does all this, and he spins around 19 times. Like that's not how it goes. Like, not really how it goes. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they did that for effect or whatever, but like yeah. So the medieval times was always something where that was a period where it was like I wanted to, like, if you would have asked me when I was a kid, any period of time, I would have said hanging out with Moses or medieval times. I wanted to be like a warrior at night around the round table. I didn't even want to be. I didn't really like King Arthur. Like, he was okay, but like my guy was the swordsman. I forgot the guy's name, but he was the man.
I don't think I ever really had a desire to go to another time.
Really?
As in, like, it would be interesting to visit it, but not like, oh, I wish I would have been born.
Lancelot, I think his name is. I think Lancelot was my guy. I'm pretty sure it was Lancelot. I'm not sure.
I think I always wanted to be older than I was.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's because I found people my own age not relatable. Then I met you, and I was like, oh, okay, you're my age. Okay, cool. But we're both like older inside, so.
Yeah, Lancelot was my guy, and I wanted to be like Lancelot. They did a really good job of him too in the King Arthur movie. They did it like a modern day King Arthur movie.
Yeah.
And the Lancelot character was like a badass. Like, he was exactly how I envisioned him in the thing. He always had the two swords or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, man, like. Yeah, like, I want to go back there, and I would just read, and I would just consume those books, man. Like, people like, come on, Vin, let's go outside, let's go play. I'm like, man, you guys are dumb as hell, man. I'm gonna hang out with Arthur and Max. Like, fuck out of here. I just didn't care. I didn't care. So, yeah. So, like, to me, it's like a spaceship shows up, you get blasted into the, whatever, and then you end up in the, you end up on some hill in the medieval times, and now you're finding all the wisdom, and then there's just nothing but endless screaming. Ooh. Because the medieval times were actually horrifying to live in. Jeez. So that's how I took it.
Okay.
What
I didn't take it anyway because it literally it didn't make any sense to me. And then I would like the candy. Like I said, I liked the lollipops, but then you'd give me broccoli, and I didn't like the way that those two mixed.
Why?
If you were eating a lollipop and I just popped a piece of broccoli in your mouth, you'd be good with that?
Well, you gotta, things are, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Personal opinion.
To me, it was a little bit different because, I knew that we had listened to them before and that they had, like, evolved into this operatic symphonic type.
Well, it's interesting because Mother North? Mother North I gave a 5 to, but I would up that now.
You're on drugs.
Because I'm giving this one a 7.
Oh, I'm sure. There you go, Satyricon. You've moved up in the world. The Almighty Sori is giving you a 7. This song's getting a 9 from me. I gave Mother North a 10, so these guys are averaging like a 9.5.
I think I'm not really a big fan of the band.
How can you say that? It's only 2 songs.
Well, those two I've not been really a big fan of.
You don't really want no gunplay. Anyway, shout out to King Arthur.
Shout out to Daniel.
Shout out to Daniel.
Sorry,
shout out to Lancelot. You know what I'm saying? All the real G's.
Hey, you remember that movie, The Iron Mask, like the guy...
The Man in the Iron Mask, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Is that something kids could watch or no?
I mean, kids can watch anything.
Well, yeah, but is it something I would let the kids watch?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I can't remember.
I haven't watched that. I don't watch that movie. I haven't watched that movie.
I haven't watched that movie in a long. You never did?
No.
Oh.
I'm trying to sign out of the song. Vin out.
Story out.
Gone.